Hello, Rebel, and welcome back to my life. So approximately 457 years ago, when I turned 30, I got my first guitar and started trying to learn how to play it. And first, a confession, I haven't yet invested in lessons. I am going to. I know that I need to, but I haven't felt that I've had the cash to justify, spending on that. And also, right now, nobody's doing guitar lessons or anything else that happens in person. I actually started out with a video game called Rocksmith, which is pretty great. You've heard me talk about it before, but if you're new here, it is basically what Guitar Hero is, except you're learning how to play real songs on a real guitar. That was great for a lot of things, like, first of all, it just feels good to learn songs that you already know and love, and to be able to play very basic, simple versions of them and gradually work up to actually playing the real song. That just feels good, and I really believe that feeling good while playing your instrument is a very powerful motivating factor. Like, you don't want practice to feel like work, you want to feel cool, like a rock star. And Rocksmith achieves that effect for me. And then I've watched lots of YouTube tutorials on other songs and, general ideas about how to practice guitar and what to do. I've signed up for free email courses where they just email you like a new drill once a week, and I practice those. But I have felt a couple of times like I've hit a wall or a ceiling and not really been able to understand what I'm practicing and why. And I know that the solution behind that is understanding music theory. And music theory... Ooh, I've had a really frustrating journey with music theory. It's a brand new endeavor for me, and again, I haven't actually invested in lessons with a good teacher who can sit down and explain specific questions as I have them. So I've been trying to look at a lot of free resources online, free YouTube videos about music theory and all that sort of stuff, but there's a problem. Until very recently, every video that I've ever found online about music theory is really, really bad. These people who I've found and tried to watch in the past, they're clearly very good musicians. You can see them play, and they're very, very good at what they do, but they don't know anything about YouTube. Their videos look awful, and their videos sound awful, which should be the first prerequisite of making something so heavily related to sound, right? You should be able to have a good sounding video in your video about music and how to use it, right? Apparently not. So yesterday I got into a conversation with some people on my Discord server about these frustrations that I've had in attempting to learn music theory, and it got very frustrating. I was very frustrated. They didn't, nobody did anything wrong. Nobody was a jerk. It's just I felt like I had no ground to stand on when terms were being tossed around and people are talking about various concepts. I don't understand any of it. But what came out of that discussion yesterday is that I stumbled on a YouTube video by Andrew Huang. I've followed Andrew for years and years. I've seen him at VidCon a bunch of times. He's a super cool guy, really great musician. It's just that, as many YouTubers have complained about, YouTube isn't great about telling you when videos come out from the people that you like the most. So about 123 years ago, in September of last year, Andrew released a YouTube video explaining the basics of music theory in 30 minutes. And for the first time, I found myself watching a video about music theory made by somebody who clearly knows what he's talking about, but that also looks and sounds good because Andrew is a professional YouTuber. Glory be, my personal unicorn of musical education appeared before me. Oh gosh, it was a big relief. So I've been watching that video and practicing and applying the things that Andrew talks about, and for the first time I feel like I understand that thing on the wall over there. I got a long way to go. I'm actually only still halfway through the video the day after because I'm stopping every time I don't fully understand what he says and watching it back until I'm oh, no, see, I get that. And he also includes all these drills in the video for me to practice, so I'll just sit there for 20 minutes and plink out some notes and everything until I really, really feel like I can wrap my head around the concept. So yeah, one thing that I said that I wanted to do during this time when we're all locked in our homes and going out isn't as possible is I want to start really trying to get and understand music and guitar and how to maybe write songs in the future. And yesterday I made a huge breakthrough. And so That's great! So I will link Andrew's video right up here if you have also been struggling with learning more about music theory, or you want to start. If you just want to get started now, if you're like, I've always wanted to play guitar or piano or whatever it is, this is a great way to start, let me tell you. Music is powerful. It is one of the oldest human traditions, and because of that, it is complex and complicated, and there is a lot to learn about it. And that puts a lot of people off, and honestly, it's almost put me off of doing it entirely over the last 3 years. But I feel like I'm finally starting to get it. And that's a really great thing. No promises about seeing my first attempts at songwriting before this whole month is over, but you might see my first attempts at songwriting before this whole month is over. That's what I wanted to tell you about today, Rebel. Hey, don't forget, on Friday, I'm going to be streaming live all day with Brenna Gawain, the author of A Cloak of Red, the newest book of Underrealm, which comes out on Friday. Oh my god. We're going to be over on Twitch playing Lord of the Rings online together. It's going to be a blast. We're starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to be giving away copies of the book throughout the day. Come by, hang out. It's going to be really cool. And that is all I've got for you today, Rebel. As always, an extra special shout out to my supporters on Patreon who are scrolling below my face. They are what makes this YouTube channel and everything I do possible. If you want to be one of those awesome and incredibly attractive individuals, click on the Patreon link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!